Like I can't believe that you're actually in Mexico. It's kind of crazy to think,
Yeah,
but
honestly.
it's really great.
Yeah, no, and the reason like this even like was able to happen was watching videos such as yourself, you know, and I watched there was a few other nomads, you know, black nomads who came to Mexico and they also went to Colombia, you know, and it's like when I saw them, I was like,
Oh, I know the
man,
one you're saying.
yeah,
The one, that's the guy. He's now in Africa. I think he's in Uganda right
yes.
now.
He's
He's the big guy.
big guy, yeah. He was in
I know he. Yeah, I know who you're talking
yeah.
about.
I was watching a lot of videos on them. Yeah. So yes, I mean do my like intro. So we're recording now. Okay. So Buenas tardes, amigos. It's Richie Rich back yet
Buenas
again.
tardes.
I know it's on your yes, yes. So today I'm joined with a very special guest. It's a dude I've been watching these videos even before I came to Mexico. Please give like an applause to YinkZz. It's YinkZz, I'm saying it right? YinkZz, yes. So
Yes,
I say it, just
yes.
give it an applause. So YinkZz, please, could you do just
Thank
like
you
a
very
like
much.
yes, oh no. Could you do like just an intro, like an introduction just to let the people know about you and that? Yeah.
Definitely. So, hi guys, my name is YinkZz. It's actually Yinka, but I go by YinkZz. That's the brand name. And yeah, I was born and raised in Nigeria. I moved to Canada, so I'm a Nigerian. And then eventually ended up in the US where I did my college, got 2 degrees out there, did the 9 to 5 life, then later on moved to Mexico. I've been in Mexico for almost 3 years now. I've been loving it. I'm on a mission. I'm a travel and tourism advocate trying to help more men of color explore the world because I don't see enough of people like myself or just other like, Latinos or other people, just different men, like, but my main target is black men, but
Yeah.
I just don't see enough of them around traveling. And so that's my mission and goal. And just also be a light while doing all of that.
Perfect, perfect. No, I mean you hit the nail on the head, Yinks, about like seeing people, not even just like black, but like people of color, like, you know, roaming the world, you know, as like a nomad, you know. So like I already said like off camera like who like inspired me, but what like inspired you to kind of make that move from, you know, US? Because you've already been around, but like, you know, to go from like the US to Mexico, you know, it's a big step. It's a really coming out of your comfort zone. Like what was that like that you know what the instinct to kind of make that eventual move?
Yeah, so I think for me, I was born a nomad actually. So just looking at my life from when I was in Nigeria, like I'd already lived in 3 countries prior to. And so I've seen that there was always some sort of me moving around to different places. And I think I was just born to be a nomad. Some of us are just born that way.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have the travel bug, so to say. It just happened naturally. I was in the US one day. I was working in San Diego. I really hated it. Before actually moving out to San Diego, I thought about the idea of living in Mexico and working in San Diego. So like in Tijuana, working in San Diego. And I have a Mexican family that pretty much adopted me back in college. So it was my best friend's
Amazing.
family that adopted me. And so I had been going to Juarez a lot actually and Torreon. And so I seen a little bit of Mexico and it felt like home to me. And
Yeah.
I was on this mission of trying to learn Spanish. And so I figured out, so I asked my brother one day, I was like, my Mexican brother, I said, so if I want to be proficient in Spanish, what do I have to do? And he pretty much said the only way you can be able to get a lot better is if you move to Mexico and like be in the system.
Exactamente. I'm gonna just copy exactamente. You know, we even spoke about this before when I was asking you to Spanish. How do I learn the Spanish, man? I'm in Mexico City, and you were like, dude, if you're here, it will take time. Use these kind of tips and that. But 100% right. Continue.
Yeah, and that was what just happened. Was once he said you have to move, the idea just went in my head. So then I, was working in San Diego. I hated San Diego. Sorry for my fellow Californians that might be watching this. It's a nice place, but I just did not like, it was not for me really.
Right.
Like I have a bunch of great friends there and family and stuff, but just not, it was not.
Just wasn't for you, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually enjoyed living in Tijuana. So I ended up moving to Tijuana. I had to cancel my lease. God just kind of ordained some things together to make it work out, and it was in perfect timing.
Yeah.
Moved to Tijuana. I lived there, worked there. I lived there, for 2.5 years, while crossing across the border every day.
Right,
so
right.
I did that, cross country living every day, and I
Yeah,
enjoyed
like
that way more.
jumping
Like it
and
was
jumping
enjoy.
back in. No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it
Mhm.
was great. And then earlier this year, I took the plunge to fully go remote or to fully go nomad,
Yeah,
where and then I ended up coming out to Tulum. So right now I'm based out in Tulum. So I don't think a lot of people know that, but maybe they do if they watch my stories once in a while.
yeah,
But yeah, so that was when I took the move. I haven't really updated much on YouTube. Kind of took,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say I took a break. I'm coming back. I've just not been as active. I've been quite busy, but we're coming back stronger. That's all I'll say.
So yes, that was interesting as well. What you said about like the the nomad life, because that's what we kind of are in. Like especially ones who come to this side of the world, they do like the digital nomad now. So could you explain like for someone who's like maybe 'cause similar like how I was before, like they want to come and it's like they need like a stable amount of income in. So like what would be like the best like tips you could say like.
Yeah.
But
So the
yeah.
best tips would be definitely get yourself working before you come here, because you don't want to be coming here on just savings, or like have some sort of kind of job. So now with COVID, we've seen that remote work is very possible. So
Exactly.
these are things that you could actually test out. So like with your job, you could see maybe testing it out for like a month or 2 or 3 months kind of thing, to see
Mhm.
if you even like Mexico before fully just moving out here. And this is not just Mexico, this is any country that you want to move to. You can
Mhm.
always do a test run, see how it works, see if let's say you're coming from Europe, for instance, because you're coming from UK,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
so for you, like the time difference for work is going to be different if you're here, if you're working for a UK company. So if you have to see if that is
Yeah, yeah. You have to get
workable.
everything in assembled, you know what I mean? Like before you make that
Exactly.
move, get that
Exactly.
100%. Mhm.
And if you don't do that, well, there's also things that happen where you could just, for instance, here in Tulum, you could literally just be walking around, connect to someone, and an opportunity could just come to you like that. Like, depending on what kind of skills you have. Is it photography? Is it videography? Is it web development? Is it there's so many different skills that people are wanting and looking for these days, that
Mhm.
you could just be in the lap of someone that you have no idea of, and that could be your pathway to success. So that was kind of what happened with me. Was I'm helping. I was Black in Tulum as an organization, company, group, and kind of blew up. And so she was like, "Hey, I need help with some social media stuff." So I just came through, and that was how that just kind of started. And that
Mhm.
created pathways for other things, other opportunities as well from that. So you never, because that was not what my idea was initially,
Yeah, like the
but that
original
was
goal,
how.
it wasn't like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like you
No,
come in here and it's like the networking, you see go one place and you
exactly.
start meeting different. Mhm.
Exactly. And so because you have to see how you could help other people and how other people could also help you out. So, and that's just, and it's about not what you know, but about who you know. So for me, I just say I know God, and he connects me to anyone.
You let me go.
So so I'm not really fully worried about but make sure you have some sort of an income coming in. And then for so that's it for the job part. And I might skip ahead. I don't know if you have this in one of your questions, but
Mhm.
also make sure you have at least almost a year's worth of living saved up,
Yes.
because anything could happen on the road. So you just want to make sure that you have yourself taken care of and you're not stranded, and don't live
Like
lavishly at the
leeching,
beginning.
leeching, but I gotta borrow this kind of
Exactly.
money. Yeah, I've heard the stories.
Exactly.
I've heard the nightmare stories, Yinks, about like someone coming in here, some stories in Cancun and get stranded there, and that's like a definite no you want to be in.
Exactly.
I want that, of course.
So that's my advice I would say in regards to before coming here, the things that you should just have a job like handy. Something remote would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
is
yeah.
nice. Like it gives you some money. Remember that the cost of living out here is a lot cheaper than most other places. So you don't need to have that much in our reality, to be honest.
That
So
it's
that's
just a
what I would
state.
advise.
Yeah, it's just a stable income. Like I before I came here, it's like I'm immediately applied to be an English teacher. And so that's what I've been doing now. I just had a few classes that I did today, just before
Oh
this
wow.
and that. So I've been doing that now since I came here. But it's like I set that up months before I, got
Before.
my ticket and said, okay, I know where I'm staying in Mexico City. Way before, because it wasn't like oh, I'm gonna play around with this, and if I go there, I'm gonna be like, oh, let me, I need this money, send it. No. Had to set
Right.
yourself up way before.
Exactly.
Believe me. So like with you, like when I came across your videos, like I said, the main ones I was watching was the one you mentioned, I believe SPK Lifestyle. The one you see, like
SPK
yeah, that's
Lifestyle.
easy.
Yes.
It got very. So I was watching him, and then I came across your videos. One of the biggest videos, I even rewatched it now just before we did this like Zoom. It was the being black in Mexico. Because like for like to a lot of people, I believe they just got like a stereotype, what I mean, of like how Mexico is, like, are black people even there? So like when I, watched your videos and I watched like other like black nomads, not just in Mexico, but in Latin America, it gave me that confidence to come there. So I would say like for you, when you initially came to Mexico, like, yeah, what was like the inspiration to make those videos? Like the black experience.
Okay, so I knew I was gonna be a YouTuber from I don't know when. Everyone's just like, you need to have a YouTube video,
Yeah.
a YouTube channel. And all my friends have been like, bro, you're funny, you're hilarious. And for whatever reason, I just could not figure out what the heck my niche was.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, okay, is it something Christian? Nah, like that's just my life. So people will automatically just know that. Then I was thinking, is it something travel? Sure, yes. That was more what I wanted to cling on to. I thought about school, just could not figure it out. So I started off doing budget travel stuff.
Right.
And like giving tips and stuff, tricks on budget traveling. Then it was during Black Lives Matter last year that I was at a point where I was just kind of like distraught. I felt broken. I felt hurt. I just could
the climate, what was going on in the States.
Yeah, and then me and my brother had a little bit of a fight, misunderstanding. So that really broke me into like pieces. And so I just had to start thinking really deeply about myself. And then from there, it was just like, boom. What you need to do is talk about your Black experience in Mexico. That's what people want to see. That's what people want to hear. And you have to do that because not a lot of people could come to Mexico because they're scared or different reasons. You have the guts, you have all this to do it. You're fine. You've been living here. You need to talk about that experience more and more.
Yeah, no, I.
And so I just like, you could see it on my YouTube. You could like literally see after the Black Lives Matter thing, then I just started talking about Mexico, like my experience about being, I think I just started doing something with Mexico. And then I just went along that path. Of course, the idea is not just only Mexico. I will end up branching out of Mexico whenever I choose to move to Southeast Asia, whenever that opens up. But I hope that with just like how SPK has done, he's moved out. He went to Colombia, then he moved to
Uganda,
Africa now. Uganda. So the same applies to me is, I'm in Mexico right now. I've been here the longest, but not necessarily the longest, but for a long time.
Yeah.
And I will be able to branch out to other countries and to give my experience about being Black there, or just the culture and everything, and how I'm integrating with the culture, how I'm learning things, the food, just everything, and hopefully see how far this whole, YouTube thing can take me, because the goal is, of course, to be sustainable with it and to be able to make a living off of that as well. So that's something that I am planning.
Because honestly, Yinks, I found it very relatable. That was it. Like when I faced, like when I saw the videos before I came, then when I came, and then it was like the knowledge you were dropping in. Like the way you should move into Mexico. Like it's not as dangerous as people say it is. It's just you got to be like making yourself the priority. It's like I was like, okay, so it did make me kind of like walk a different way whilst I was actually here. So it's very helpful.
Thank you very much. Because I was going to ask you a question then, like, so when you saw the video, like what exactly was there that like made you feel, I'm still going to make this move and just go? Yeah.
Well, like, I always heard the stories of like Tijuana, of like, the, what was it, the cartel, what I mean? So like, has something, it could be like problematic, and even just in other Mexico states. So for me, I think like the biggest thing, like trepidation for me coming here, it was just to have that regular income, to come in. And like when you made the video of like the budget, the budget saving, like, if you can get in place, make sure when you come here, get an Airbnb, first, I mean, if you can, like later on, like maybe turn that, because that's what I've done now as I'm here. It's like I started off Airbnb. and I worked something with that, worked something with the landlord to make it like a regular lease.
You see?
You know what I mean? So that video, when you talked about budget, it really started like really, I was just like really super focused that, okay, I gotta come here. I'm solo, you know, I came by myself and I'm gonna just make it happen. So every little penny counted. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, more like wasting stuff on like, you know, Nikes or, you know, stuff that is like very materialistic. I said, no, I've got to really, really be, you know, mature with
on top of your stuff.
Exacto. You know, so that was the real one.
Wow, look at you speaking Spanish exacto. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
man,
good.
Poquito. And this will lead on, you know, so like, all right. So like we talked about like, so you've been there for 3 years now, like, going around like Mexico, what would you say which was your like your favorite, like your casa, you know, favorite like
Iguana.
100%. Oh man. Why is that? Tell me reasons why. Compared to like Guadalajara and like, because I know you've been around
anywhere.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of places. I think I've been to almost 15 states in Mexico, and Tijuana has to take it on. And the reason being is, yes, it's not beautiful or anything. It's actually pretty ugly. It's one of the ugliest places in Mexico. Right. I'm just spitting out facts.
Yeah.
But the culture is just different there, right? And it just feels like home. Like even here that I'm living in Tulum, and people ask me, where do I come from? I'm like, I'm coming from Tijuana or TJ. That's what I still say because it still feels a part of me. Yeah. I still feel like there's still something there for me, to be honest.
Exactly. So it's like it draws you into, I understand.
Exactly. And I really just enjoyed it, you know, and the food culture, for instance, was amazing. The things that you could do just not in the city, but like just not too far away from the city, like visiting Ensenada, Rosarito, Puerto Nuevo, Valle de Guadalupe, just going around. It was just quite nice. And I had a small community of friends there as well. That was quite nice. Mexicans, of course. So people asking me if it's Black people. I don't have no Black friends here in Mexico. Just because I never really did.
Yeah, it's the same. Like when I came here, it's not even just being like a solo. You know, I'm originally, you know, UK. You know, as you know, I'm originally from London. So imagine coming from the opposite side. You know, then being like a different skin color, not being the native language. It was so outside of the comfort zone. You know what I mean? So I can, as I said, I can relate. Totally.
Yeah. So like, cause I know a lot of Black people, they want to just be with other Black people, and like, nah, sometimes it just doesn't work that way, and you have to just learn to be with other people. And for me, I haven't been with a lot of Black people since I left Nigeria, to be honest, which was 14 years ago. So yeah, like I've just been used to living with other people and being friends with other nationalities, and it's been quite amazing. Like Mexicans are one of the best people in the world. They love Black people, contrary to what major, like, you know, media states.
Society, states, yeah.
I still had this conversation with someone today at work, and they were saying how Mexicans don't like Black people. I was like, who told you? Who said who?
Yeah.
I was like, who said that?
Where did they get this like knowledge from? You know what I mean? Honestly. Where I came from, the day I landed from like an airport to Mexico City to all the way to I came back to that place, the most welcoming, you know, I've ever. Even when I go back to Sierra Leone, where I'm Sierra Leone, Freetown, that's where I'm really right from. Like even better than that. And I was like, wow.
Exacto. Like they have such a great heart, and that's and for me, I'm like, and then plus for me, the bonus is when you speak Spanish,
it's the best.
Then it's just a plus. Like, of course, that just makes everything in the experience even 10 times better. And so that's, I think, stuff that a lot of people might be lacking. Yeah. And so that's where my experiences might slightly differ because, well, I learned the language, I make effort, I speak their language. Yes. So they, of course, I'm not saying everyone's going to like me, no, but
but they could appreciate it. They could appreciate more that you're coming here as a, you know, foreign to the country, and it's like you come there and it's like you're willing to learn, you know, willing to be with the culture.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my experience in Mexico. And yes, TJ takes the cap for best place in Mexico. If there's specific things like most beautiful places, stuff like that, then we can give you other things. My next favorite place would probably be Mexico City.
Oh man, shout out to CDMX, baby, man. I mean, this is my home base, my headquarters here.
Yeah. And then every other part like has different things for what it's good for. Like the Yucatan
Yeah,
area is the best part for tourism and stuff. Like Quintana
exactly.
Roo, Yucatan, that's hands down, I think, the best part for tourism. Guadalajara, probably the cleanest city I've ever been to. So, you know, Torreon feels literally just like Nigeria.
Hmm.
Uh, Casas Blanca, Nuevo Casas Blanca, it's just this like town place. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I lied. Tijuana is my favorite spot, but like outside of city,
Yeah.
Bacalar takes it all. Bacalar, without
Right.
a
That would be
doubt.
definitely the best one.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, yes, like
Mhm.
because Bacalar is just this heavenly place. You guys have to search it up after. Go
Yeah.
on internet, Bacalar, Bacalar,
Mhm.
and it has the best lagoon anywhere in the
That's
world.
so good.
Guarantee you.
Ooh,
So
it's like a cenote or something like that. So, thanks. When as I said, like you originally coming from Nigeria, so Nigeria, Lagos. Ah, I see. So you can only one. I haven't been to Lagos, but someday I will get the chance. So, like with
you better go for Christmas.
oh the Christmas, so many people have told me that like Nigeria, you really want to have that proper
For
time for
Christmas.
Christmas. I've been told that so many times.
Best
So
in the world.
yeah. So with the as we like talked about like culture, like the Mexican culture to like your time in Nigeria, like the culture. What would you say like like the differences and similarities?
They're all the same. There's no difference. They're all
Yeah.
this. It's literally the same thing. So like when I was in college in El Paso, Texas,
Yeah.
so I went to UTEP, go minors.
Shout out.
I had some issues with a lot of the Nigerians out there because
Okay.
they didn't really. Okay, it depends on who's listening to it, but I had identity issues because a lot of them did not really see me as a full Nigerian because I was also Canadianized.
Yes.
So it was hard for them to accept me because of like the way I speak and stuff like that. I can switch to Nigerian accent if I want to, just like how I'm doing right now. But of course, they think it's just more like fake kind of thing, but it's not. It's just I kind of turned Canadian. There's nothing I could do about that. I was younger. I'm easily malleable, so I've been able to pick up all these different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up hanging out more with Mexicans, and I just realized that these were just the better Nigerians, like in quotes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
for me, I just felt like their culture was the exact same as us. Like we both eat spicy food. We like doing a lot of it. We're family oriented. There was a
Very
lot of
traditional
similarities.
as well. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see a lot of differences. I saw more similarities than differences. I'm sure there's different things. Of course, we're
Yes.
darker skinned than they are, but those are the obvious things. Languages are different, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but land might be slightly different. But outside of that, most things are actually very similar. The way of thinking is very, very similar. People are very like, they think similarly. It's really weird.
Like
Nigerians are always late.
Yeah.
Nigerians are always late. Mexicans are always late. Nigerians, they are bad
I
drivers.
know.
Mexicans are bad drivers. So I should just say, like, they just know how to. So everything to me, I just felt like I was in Nigeria when I moved out here to Mexico. So it felt like home. So Mexico is home for me.
Yeah, I can definitely admit that. I was gonna say that like I was speaking to my partner here who's from Mexico City. We were talking about she's like wanting to like visit like West Africa, Sierra Leone. And we were speaking, I was like, you know what? There's not too much like differences from here and like back home in West Africa. I get once you go there, you see what I'm talking about.
You see.
You know what I mean? But it's like really similar. So with that being said, so it's just been for now, so it's just been in Mexico. You've been in the Latin America. Like, if you haven't, but have you had like the aspirations to maybe visit like the other Latin American countries, like maybe like a Brazil or like a Colombia or Puerto Rico since you've been here?
Yeah. So my goal is, so I've been to Colombia, but that's it.
Yeah. Medellin, was it Medellin?
I went to Bogota.
Bogota, okay. I've seen some videos.
Yeah, I went to Bogota, so I really enjoyed it. I was there really short, I think 3 or 4 days, something like that.
Okay.
But I do plan on going to other places. So I want to go to Belize. I want to go to every country in South America and Central America, to be honest.
Same.
So I'm not gonna. I shouldn't start trying to list. I want to go to all of them. I think by the end of the year, though, I do want to try to go to maybe two. So either Panama and Belize, or maybe add Nicaragua on that list. But so that might be three. But I do want to go to at least two by the end of this year. So we shall see.
Yeah, no, perfect. I think with yours, the advantage you have now is that you're fluent in Espanol. That's what like my desire to get to, that fluency level. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. I'm doing these courses. It's like
that's good.
Yeah, since like for the last June, I've been studying on the Spanish course. Monday to Friday, which is really
practicing.
Always. I've even said, because there's like a certificate you get at the end, I still think even I get that, I still have to keep practicing, because it's a consistency, the way
Absolutely.
So
I changed your phone to Spanish.
Yes, I have my Espanol, SIM card. So I have like the AT&T Mexico SIM card. So everything
So everything comes in Spanish. Is your actual phone, or is your phone itself in Spanish?
So it's not all in Spanish, but sometimes my pages, they'll come in Spanish and they'll say translate to English. So it's like for now, it's like I'm kind of balancing the two. It's like I'm just trying to get to that zone where it's like I can read like paragraphs, I can speak, long sentences. It's like once I get to that, then I'll transfer. But it's a process.
Yeah. And then if you're watching TV, like movies and stuff, if you can, it's probably better to watch in Spanish or listen to music in Spanish as much as possible.
Yeah. So with the music, because I was just listening to J Balvin and Bad Bunny, who's my favorite now. What Spanish, like Espanol music, what you
I just listened to.
Yeah.
I just listened to. So I listen to a lot of gospel. So Hillsong, for instance, like my Spotify is Hillsong in Espanol. I try to listen to a lot of the gospel music that I already listen to in English, in Spanish, in Espanol. So that way, because if I already know them in English, then it's easier for me to just learn in Spanish. Once I hear it in Spanish, I'm like, I already know the lyrics. Then for Spanish music, I listen to a lot of reggaeton just in general. I don't have specific. Bad Bunny, of course, but as long as it's vibey and like a dance, almost like an African, then I'm game for it.
Yes.
So I listen to a lot of reggaeton. I should say a lot. Now I've backed off, but I listen to reggaeton as well, though.
Reggaeton is very good. What about do you listen to one that I've started to listen to since I come here was it's called lo-fi.
Oh, I listen to lo-fi music.
Yeah.
That's to study and to do work all the time.
Anytime I'm heading towards the gym, Tunisia, slap on my these.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, always. Since I've come here, again, this is where, when you talk about culture, I didn't even say I was in Canada for the last 2019 to when the pandemic was here. I was in Toronto.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's work visa. Yeah.
So I'm from Barrie.
Barrie
is not the Toronto. It's 45 minutes away.
Oh right.
Do you know Innisfil?
Listen, no, with the area I was dating, I was by Yorkdale. Yorkdale, and I was staying at the York University with my cousin.
Oh.
So I didn't know it too much because again I was only 2 years, but I'm guessing it wasn't too far.
No, we're not. From where I'm at, it was not that far. It's 45 an hour away from there.
Yeah, the DC Metro. But what I found out is that the time I came from UK and Canada to here, I don't know if you had this experience. I just felt like everything just became so clear. Stuff that I used to avoid, I started doing it once I was here. I didn't know about lo-fi music, until I came here.
I just recently heard lo-fi music, maybe sometime during the pandemic, and I don't know why and how I started listening to it, but I just started and I started trying to find different lo-fi. So I done African lo-fi, Christmas lo-fi, blah blah lo-fi,
any
Christian
culture.
lo-fi. There's so many.
There's so many. I just started to just loop and start to listen. I was like, man, because I'm a big fan of rap and hip hop music. So when I heard lo-fi and they had lo-fi in Portuguese, they had it in Brazilian, they had it in Mexican, I was like, oh, okay.
It's it.
Oh my God. So like now with like because you said like you do have like aspirations because you've already been around. I've been following your stories, you know, definitely I'm gonna
Thank
be
you.
putting the links in the description. I want you to subscribe and, you know, follow him on his Instagram. You know, I know you've been to like Europe, you know, obviously the Africa, Canada, and US. And you said you wanted to possibly go to like the Asia as well. Like which part
Yeah.
specifically in Asia?
So
Yeah.
Indonesia is the next spot, hopefully,
Right.
but they're closed, so it's been really difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm also on a mission out here in Mexico, so we'll
Yeah.
see how, because I was supposed to be in Bali earlier during the year, but yeah,
Mhm.
that just didn't work out. So we'll see. Not sure. Just
Yeah.
kind of open-minded. I do have to go to Asia though because I do want to build some sort of like network out there and just have a base as well in Asia.
Mhm.
I haven't been to that side of the world.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to explore the countries out there and the cultures and just learning more about the other part of the world that I've not seen and explored. So I'm excited for that as well.
I think what really helps with you and is I think what I developed like from coming here, I think you have like a great open-mindedness. You know what I mean? I
Right,
think
right.
it's an essential attribute that you need to be like, okay, I'm not gonna let anything hold me back. I'm not gonna worry about like the, you know, people criticizing me for doing this. It's like, okay, I want to go to Asia. I'm just gonna go do it, and I'm gonna go.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna learn new things. I'm gonna get new experience and meet different people.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like I felt, especially this is one thing, as you were saying in San Diego, when I was in UK, Yinks, I had my circle of people was so pessimistic. You know what I mean? Like, why'd you want to go Mexico? Why'd you want to go to like South? Why'd you want to go to even Canada when I was in the UK? You know, so I would say, yeah, I'm telling you, because they don't know. This is what I'm saying. They just hear, you know, stories of, oh, Canada's cold. You know, why do you want to go there? I'm like, dude, man, you won't know until you try. So I would say,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? I'll say this thing. It's my question to you. Like, did you ever have that, or like, you know, that you had like maybe a circle or like, you know, the specific friends that kind of deterred what you wanted to like go for, you know, like traveling? Like, did you have any kind
So
of, okay.
yes, I still do. My friends don't
Oh,
have, so it's not my friends. All my homeboys, they all know each other. All of them are solid. I have like the bestest brothers and friends in my small circle. So
excellent.
all of them actually are people that push me and motivate me to be the best. One of my best friends actually just visited me this past week, so we were together for the whole week. It was the best week I've ever had since I moved to Tulum. So
Please.
that really helped my spirit up a lot because like I was just going through some I would say rough patch, but
Yeah, as we
he
all
helped like
do.
he
As we
yeah,
all do. We all do. Don't, yeah.
exactly, so he just brought a new like light and peace and everything to me. So like the week was amazing. And actually I then texted all my other guy friends that, hey, you know what? Like because after that experience I was like, I really miss all you guys. You guys are really good in my life. I really appreciate you guys. Not all, but a couple of them. So but the people that, you know, that are the pessimistic or whatever, honestly, I'll just be frank. Like my family, of course, my African mother, I would say, because I have other families that have kind of adopted me as well, and they support my dream. My
Yeah.
African mom doesn't feel, she, up until I'd say last week, she didn't really
Like, get it.
understand. She doesn't really get it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've, you know, sat down and I've talked to her and I've told her that this is my life, it's not your life. So you
Yes.
just have to deal with it because
Mm.
there's not much you're going to be able to do. I've been doing this since I was 13 or 14. And when I'm in this, I've been living by myself. I live with my aunt. So then I went to the States by myself.
Mm.
I changed schools by myself. I've done different things. So
That
you just have to
independent
realize
quality, you know, that independence.
exactly. So I've always been by myself. So you just have to deal with it. For my friends, they can't be pessimistic. They don't have the option to be because they can't control my life. I control my life. They see what I'm doing, and I hope that they're motivated to want to achieve something like I'm doing. They're all achieving great things, but I'm gonna go get what I want to get. So if you're gonna try and stop me, I'm gonna push you over and just run through. I'm a hurdler. I went to college to run hurdles,
Yeah.
so I would literally run over it.
Yeah, I was listening to your the podcast, Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I was
wow.
certified. Again, don't
Yeah.
be in the description, folks. You know, Yinks does a lot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So that was where some of they can't stop me.
Yeah.
And so you just have to realize that that's it. And as long as God supports it, that's literally what I say. If God supports it, I'm doing it. I'm going for it. So that's the issue. I would say my mom is the only person that's had a lot more issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
But recently we've been able to, I think, reconcile and be able to deal with it. I think it's still a process.
Yeah.
I think we're getting close. I don't think we're really there yet, but we're getting close. And she won't really understand until I think she sees where my vision is and what I'm trying to do. And I don't blame her. It's just she's an African mother. That mindset is different. I'm not African. Like, I'm African. I shouldn't say I'm not African. I'm Nigerian. I'm 100%, but I'm also Canadian. I also lived in the US. I also part Mexican. So like my mind is more open than the stereotypical African person. So, things are going to be, the way I think is going to be very different. Like I literally quit my engineering job to move fully into Mexico.
Oh, that's perfect. Now, I just got a clap on that, honestly, because like, again, there's a lot of people, especially when they're doing it solo, they don't have that kind of strength to kind of like go like the distance, you know what I mean? They will allow, as you said about like the barriers, you know what I mean? You're like, fuck this, nothing's going to stop me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If it's like this high, I will get a lot bigger ladder to jump over the wall.
You have to.
It's a quality that I think, like, not even just like in the nomad life, but like just on achieving any of your goals, how outlandish it can be, you need that with you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's like, as you said, like you spend time in the US, in Canada, I'm from Nigeria. From the life, and this is probably the most important question I'm gonna ask you. From being in Mexico, and it's like you feel it, it's warm, so welcoming, complete peace. Do you think you could go back to the States and go back to that life?
Hell no.
Of the 9-to-5 world?
Hell no.
The cake.
Hell no. To do what? To go and be a modern day slavery?
Oh my
God. Hell no.
Man. I'm so glad you're in tune with this. I tell people now this. I don't know if I said it. They're like, oh, Rich, when you coming back to the UK? Nah, I'm here.
To do what?
To do what? To go pay this crazy rent, to stress myself out in a way that I cannot really live this one life that we have. What is the point of that?
Yeah. No. So the answer is no to the no to the no to the no. Like, oh hell no. So yes, that ain't gonna happen. Like I first of all, the US, no. I could go there to visit. Like great place. I have again family and friends there.
Yeah.
So I'll go visit all alone. Mm-hmm. But to live, that'd be a struggle. Unless if Texas becomes its own country, then maybe I could stay in Texas. But maybe even at that, maybe. But no, I don't want, like, there's something about me living in like a developing country, a third world country, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they want to name it, like that. Mm-hmm.
And there's some peace that comes with living there and how much things are slower. And for me, like, going to the US, it was great because it helped in my mindset and ambitions and like my drive to always become more. Because something I've noticed with Mexicans is they're very mediocre. Actually, like quality is not really as existent out here.
Yeah,
like, things might look nice on the outside, but on the inside, it's not really quality.
There is so much more. Sorry, like it's so much more that can be obtained. You know, I mean, and I do feel. I'm so glad you said that. I went to New York City in last month. You know, just like a break. You know, just from Mexico City, just to go there. You know, enjoy. And like when I came back, I did sense that like it's like they kind of limit themselves when it's like there's so much.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the thing there is, it's not their fault, right? It's just because of the lack of exposure that they have.
Yeah.
And so they don't know any much better. But like, if people go there to go work or go do something, I think that would help them to open up their mind. But outside of that, I couldn't move back to the US to go do what? Like, honestly, no. If I wanted to move back to anywhere, I'd say maybe Nigeria, because now I could bring back my expertise from Canada, US, Mexico back to there, because even Mexico, I'd say, is a little bit more advanced than Nigeria at this point. To be honest, it should not be, but I'm not. It's just a reality of what I see, and so those are little things that I would say. And I don't think the US has much. The US is helping me out financially in terms of like the clients that I have and stuff like that. But outside of that, the actual country itself, physically there, living there, I don't know that it's for me anymore.
Yeah, I think like the living conditions, I'm in a similar position. Like as I said, I got my work visa in Canada, so like the job before like I came here, I was working as a fitness trainer. So I was working in like the gyms. Yeah. That's right. I shrunk down, but getting those gains back.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I need to do the same thing.
Oh, we get fit.
But you can only see.
Oh, wait, see. We get it.
I'm like, I need to do the same thing.
I was just going to get, but like, I found like, even when I was in Canada, like, I'm okay, like getting like the dollars, getting like the money from them was cool, but the actual like living there, what comes with living there, it's like, okay, you get paid from your job, but so this money gets spread out differently. By the end of the month, you got nada. So like transitioning now to being here in Mexico, where it feels like, and I know you're in this position now, you feel like you're in more control of your own destiny. You're your own boss. You can
absolutely.
You can travel when you want to travel. It's like you're working hard. But it's like you're putting the required amount of hours to make this like everlasting. And I just feel in the same position. Like that kind of lifestyle. I feel like some people have to start there, but it's not for everyone.
I was about to say this lifestyle is not for everyone at all, because the 9 to 5 life is built for certain people and it works for some certain people, and it's nothing wrong with it. I think if you can balance and if you get a good work-life balance, it's great for you. But outside of that, I think if you cannot, if you can't balance it properly, like, so for me, for instance, I was working 60, 70 hours weeks as an engineer.
My God.
That was not good. That's to me modern day slavery.
That must have been crazy hours. 70 hours
exactly
from day to day.
Yes. So that to me was not, I was very, very not happy. And that was just the reality of the kind of life that, some people have.
Yeah.
It's not what you're expecting, but it's what just comes a part of the job and whatever you have to do. And so I think some people have to work 9 to 5. So like, again, one of my best friends that visited me last week.
Yeah.
Like, he's perfectly fine with the 9 to 5 as long as he could also travel. Like, he came here for a week. The average American doesn't travel for a week, but that's because he has a good job where he can actually take time off. Yeah. Like, we're already talking if we could do something else later this year. Mm-hmm. So that means he just he is working for a good company and he's enjoying it because he doesn't mind working for as long as he has that balance, it works fine.
He has time for himself.
Exactly. But then there's people where you're actually born to be a nomad like myself, or you're born to just kind of do your own thing. You do have to take that move because you're not going to feel fulfilled working under someone. And you have something to offer to the world that you're just like, you're not working on. Yes. So inside you, it will just keep eating you alive almost until.
God. Thank you for saying that. It's like a burning desire. I mean, I used to have these, like, sometimes I would finish training the class when I was in Toronto, and I would sit down and I'd be like, man, I feel there's so much more I can do and no one's gonna do it for me. It's like I have to really push myself to get into and like I said, it really didn't take to the way things happened last year, with the global pandemic, everybody working from their homes now. I was like, it's really like a now or never, so.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You can relate to that 100%. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's like the, my 1-2 cents of the 9 to 5 life. For me personally, I would prefer not to. If I do anything, I could be a contractor. So I still choose my own hours. I could work for someone in the US or whatever, but I'm not like tied to maybe particular hours, or like I could offer my services to them. That's fine. But I would not want to do a full 9 to 5 again. At least not in the US.
And I don't believe you need to, especially like now. I think one of the best things possibly with this generation now is there is so much stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? If the pandemic maybe happened 30 years ago and we were still using the original phones, the original telephones with no Instagram, like what is Instagram? What is Facebook? That time, it was a very standard time. You wake up, go to your job. If you got kids, drop your kids to school. Now, because everything is so interactive, there is a litany of like stuff you can do.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like you just have to put yourself out there. So it's all right that now, like with Yinks, you know, as I said, like, you know, and I'm keep stressing this out, you know, you were one of the ones like when I was coming here and I was maneuvering, you know, I was maneuvering around Mexico City, you know,
I
I
can't
was
believe.
watching,
I'm gonna tell you something. I
yeah,
remembered. I saw a few like comments, and I'm pretty sure yours might be one of them too. That
yeah,
I told one of my friends, and I was like, I can't believe that I'm making a video about me being black in Mexico, and people are actually moving to Mexico. Like I think it was my brother. I told, and I was like, and people actually, I said, ha, people actually believe in me, and they're listening to me, and I was like, ha, like I'm actually changing people's lives like this. This is actually scary as heck.
it's a
Like so,
power, power,
it's really rare to see that I could sit down and talk and people actually listen and get value from some of this stuff. And it's also encouraging, right? It's nice because like it means that people do want to hear your story, and it's more because, to be honest, I think most of my friends wanted me to do more comedy and funny stuff because
yeah,
naturally they just think I'm funny. It
mm-hmm.
just comes naturally. It's not like I force it or I'm not a joke or anything. You have to be there to see, and you have to like know me to kind of see how it is. But it's hard to get those kind of moments on camera, really, because you don't want
Yes.
to be fake and stuff like that. And then sometimes
And
when
they
I
can
watch
see through it.
myself,
Yes, they can see through it. I know this, like, you
exactly,
know, putting videos on YouTube and Instagram, they can see through the fakeness, you know. So if you're not
it will.
genuine, they're gonna like, let me go check
Exactly.
something else. You know.
Literally. And then, but it was also the struggle of, it'll be hard because I see myself, I'm very serious. And
Right.
actually, I can't take myself serious when I watch some of my YouTube videos in the
Yes.
past. I kind of stop, but like, I'm like, who's this man think he is? Like, he's all serious and talking all posh. Like, oh, half the time I barely talk like I talk like this, but you know, I can just switch it and just go like this because
I
I'm in
go.
Nigerian. Why not? Because it's just part of my life. That's just what I do. I'll just switch from nowhere to just switch, and then I'll just go back to normal again. It's like, what the
Hey.
heck? Who's this kid? It's weird, and I just laugh, and I'm just killing myself.
Oh
I'm
my
just
god.
like, okay, this guy is hilarious. But I'm happy that I've been able to help like a lot of people like yourself and more people to come. Hopefully, they gain a lot of value from it and could learn from the experience. And you know, the goal is just to get more colored people, more black people out here in Mexico and
Yeah.
other parts of the world. The world needs to become comfortable with us traveling and seeing us in their spaces. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that was gonna lead on to like one of my biggest question. I feel and I can just tie myself into this. There is a lot of people who you know, colored, not even just black, who are in like, you know, like the US, like Canada, or even like Europe, who kind of feel like you know, the system doesn't work for them. You know, so they kind of feel like, well, you know, they can work this job, you know, up hierarchy, and it's only so far they can get to. You know, so some of them may want to make the jump. You know, they kind of lost, you know, in the way life's going. They want to make the jump. And they do need something like this, someone to kind of talk to them and say, hey, look, I have the same skin color like you. I'm no different than you. You know, I started in the same position, but this is what I did to get to here. You know, so I think it's very powerful, you know, when you see stuff like that, you know.
Absolutely. Thank you very much
Mhm.
for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
And I
honestly.
think that gives me more confidence or
Yes,
more ginger to keep doing some good stuff like that as well.
honestly. Yeah,
And take
yes.
people along the journey
Yeah, it is. It's like
because it's a journey.
it's a journey, you know. If you see where you know, the that's why I'm trying to go to in my, like my videos on YouTube. I want to do like kind of more some like, you know, tips, you know, like, but tips coming from like my experience. You know, this is how it was for me when I got in Mexico City 6 months ago. You know, so if for someone
Absolutely.
new, you know, this is the way, you know, you can go. You know, but Yinks, what is the, as we talked about your, like, you know, so many stuff you're doing, you know, the jack of all trades, you know, like, what is the best way people can go to find your content, your videos that comes out? What are like some of the best?
TikTok, guys, go on TikTok, go check me out there. That's where I'm kind of enjoying myself. YouTube, of course, is fine. I'm on Instagram. I'm on anything, to be honest. But TikTok is where you could find me the most entertaining, or like that's just where you find more
Yeah,
stuff, to be honest.
so perfect,
And
perfect.
then YouTube-ish. YouTube in the next few weeks will start to pop again. I'll
Mhm.
start to do more intentional content. Instagram, I'm on stories quite a bit. I'm not on the feed as much, but I'm on stories a little
Right.
bit. So just showing some of the things that I do here and there. I don't post like live stuff that I do for personal reasons, but like
Yeah.
I'll post stuff afterwards. So
Mhm.
like maybe after a week or something, I'll post stuff for Instagram on the stories or something. But yeah, that's where you guys could find me. And then you could also email me. I have a blog. You could email me hi@YinkZz.com or Yinka Odofin or no, odofinyinka@gmail.com. And yeah, you can find me also on Spotify. I have a podcast with one of my high school coaches, Emerging Elite. We're trying to talk about just life of being an athlete, elite athlete. And, we had a lot of people who were close to making it to being professional, but never
Yeah.
did.
Yes.
And so just talking through the journey and how we could inspire and help other younger athletes who are coming up and coming pretty much, and how they could aspire to be the best that they could be in their journey as well in their athletic career.
Yeah, because I was listening to the podcast just before, and I think what it really does help as well is like the ones who kind of didn't make it, some of them
Exactly.
they possibly feel like it's over. I was supposed to do this and it didn't happen. I feel like with the podcast, even with the content you're doing, it can be like there is life after doing this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You make it just as you were able to do that from Canada and US to jump now into Mexico and been here for uno dos tres. You know what I mean? Like it's inspiring.
Simon.
You know what I mean?
Gracias.
So honestly, keep it up. So YinkZz, man, much pleasure for being on this video. I've wanted to do this for like the longest times,
Muchas gracias.
Yes. Oh, de nada. If you got like any final words for like,
final words is honestly, guys, you need to live your life to the best of your own. Life is too short. You only die once, YOLO. So it's no longer YOLO. And you need to really just go out there and explore. I think there's nothing wrong in exploring and seeing what the world is out there. God created for a reason, right? For us to go explore and see all the different beauties that He's made. So you need to go out there. Also, don't forget that you can make a difference in this world. And like I always end, be a light. And that's it. Like, just be the best light that you could be wherever you are. For me as a Christian, that's what I try to be, to be the best Christian, be the best Black person, Nigerian, whatever it is, anywhere I go, so that other people could get benefit of that as well. So, by them experiencing something with me, that could pay forward for 4 or 5 people down behind or something. And so you guys could also do the same thing. Just go out there, go try and also learn about other people's cultures. Don't be closed-minded. People, they just don't know. So change their mindset and help them to become, I know sometimes it might be a lot, but just go out there, have fun, and go help teach other people stuff about you, your culture, learn others' cultures, and enjoy this world, man. It's for us to enjoy.
Yeah, perfect. I couldn't say it any better. Take advantage of this time that you have on the planet, because tomorrow really, really is a promise, with you're gonna say that. So YinkZz, once again, I probably said this for the 1,000 of times, 20 times. Thank you so much for coming on this show. I really, really appreciate it. Keep on going to the views. I will put all of YinkZz links, his TikTok, as he mentioned, his Instagram, his YouTube will be in the description. Please check his channel out. Very informative videos. To be honest, I could even go out on stretches. I probably wouldn't be in the state now if it wasn't for my man here, so definitely, man. Much out to Robert.
Rich, I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Those guys. Okay, guys, so that's Richman Z and YinkZz. And we're going to be signing out. Peace.